So I'm back. I want to pick up here with this. Thought this was interesting. Been going to the Vulgate and reading it, and this is the closest that you'll find on Bible Hub to the Vulgate from what I've seen. It's the Catholic version. I think it's interesting because a lot of times the Catholics will write things in here that is different from the standard. As you can see, all other translations spell it without the H. You see, as you can see there, and it just keeps going on and on, you know. So I think it's interesting. I'm like, all right, so why are you spelling it with this? So that's when I looked into where they get their Bible from, and they said it's from the Vulgate after what they call Saint Jerome in his translation. And they do that a lot though, because I was reading the book of Daniel, just the early chapters of it, and check this out. They did the same thing with Daniel. And I was like, wow. Let me see, Daniel, verse 2. See, look at the way they spell it there the same way, spell it there the same, in all these translations, right? Then you get down to the Catholics, and it's different once again. There versus there versus there. So, and I thought it was interesting because if you take this and you look for this, it's interesting, right? Here, this is the way the Catholics spell it. This is the way they were, you know, some of them were changing it up there, but it says that it's a town in the southeast Sudan on the Blue Nile. It was the capital of the Muslim kingdom. So my question is, why didn't we know about this? Why didn't we know that they, if that's true, that they marched them out of Jerusalem, or Jerusalem into, they didn't have a J, so it was like Jerusalem or whatever. They marched them out of there into the Sudan. That's a long march to take your prisoners, right? So I just thought that was interesting. I really did, and that's why I like to read the Vulgate just to see what it says versus the the rest of these standards. And I'm eventually going to try to get to where I can do a side-by-side comparison with that and the the Brenton, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So let's see here. I want to go back. Like I said, as I'm reading this translation, it just stood out to me. I'm like, okay, so where is this? And what is it? Let's go to a lexicon. And it says there that, at least for that one, the translation was mountain, hill country of uncertain. We got here, it says it's a place in Sinai. And let's see here. I want to get this pronunciation correct. Oh, don't do that to me. Pora is how I believe it's pronounced. But I just want to make sure I get it. I wanted to make sure I got it correct, but don't know if I'm going to have any help with that. But I believe it's pronounced Pora. And what was interesting is I found that in Mexico. I found a Sinai, Mexico. There's one here. Hold on, I'm sorry about this. I got excited. I already pulled it up. All right. It's here. Hold on. Doing a terrible job at this. Here it is. I don't know why it showed that it's down here. I'm sorry. And this is the Garden Sinai, and we have I was trying to find Sinai, Mexico. I thought it was interesting because we have that here, right in like the heart of, Mexico. have that pora, or the feminine, from the Vulgate when I exit out of it. But if you go back to the the lexicon, it said that it comes from the feminine word. The mountain's name comes from the feminine word, and it was spelled P-O-R-A, Para. So I thought it was interesting that not only was the Sinai here, but also the feminine word for the mountain is also located here. But kind of have an issue with it too, because we have people that claim to be Jews, and their only claim to it, honestly, is that they practice Judaism, that live in that specific location. And they said they've been there since, 1519 was their arrival. They were convert Jews and Morano Jews, which we know, we take that, we know they were really just cover up. They stole the title of the people that were the Jews, that they were forcing to practice Catholicism, to be their slaves. We seen that when we looked up, what's it called, the New Blood, where they took Jews and they took Moors and forced them into Catholicism so that they would be their servants. Oh, come on. I just seen this. They had the shield and the shield. There you go. And there you go. A stolen title, right? From stolen people. See? But I just thought that was interesting that they're in the way when it comes to that. The only other thing I found I thought was interesting is there's also a Pura in South America. The only issue I had with it is that I can't find a mountain. It's just a river. See? See, it's just a river that's down there below Brazil. So I'm not really sure that's what we're looking for, because it says, you know, a mountain was a hill region, and it just didn't seem like it was right. But it could be, because it's in the south though, you know. And I was looking around, and they have a place like that named in South Korea, and they have one in the South Dakotas here in North America. So I just thought it was interesting, but I had no idea that any of that stuff was there, you know. And just reading about that today, reading about this region and trying to figure out if they has mountains and stuff like that, also led me to something I thought was interesting. Was just the image of the native people that were down there, and that's where I pulled up, you know, and just looking at some of the photos that they posted of them, you know, that looks like a Negro woman or a man. That, I don't know where they get that from. That, well, they said that we were practicing cannibalism. I don't know, though. I just came across them today. I just wanted to share, though. See, this is what, again, the hair and the nose. Look at that. Let me do this real quick. I looked at some of the images on here of just the people. Look at her. That's a mulatto. Or in North America, it's a Blackfoot, right? But that's not what I wanted to show you. I've seen some images of straight up like black people down there that are wearing garments and stuff. Look at that. Oh no, they're saying these are Africans. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not falling for that African stuff. So you definitely tell that's mixed.